Featured some Roadshow fans, we are back with another video, and Hollywood is failing. The movies that Hollywood are putting out are not to the standard that you and I actually expect them to actually put out movies. I guess, you can kind of say now that it is expected because Hollywood has been going down a woke path for a very, very long time. They have embraced diversity, equity, and inclusion. Now, there is nothing wrong whatsoever with diversity in movie productions. The problem is forced diversity and sacrificing story. We've seen it with Star Wars. We've seen it with a whole bunch of other movies. The MCU is putting out a bunch of garbage, a bunch of woke garbage out there. And for some reason, guys, Hollywood is getting a bunch of activist directors to actually make movies. And to even be considered for a major award like an Oscar and things like that, you have to meet certain diversity criteria if you actually want your movie nominated for like Best Picture. You need X amount of these people right here, less white people. Yeah, to me that sounds like racism. That actually sounds like discrimination. And I am completely 1000% against that. If the cast is all white, so be it. It's all white. If the cast is all black, so be it. All black. You get what I'm saying? I don't like this new modern racism that's going on out there in Hollywood. I reject it. And that actually brings us to one Richard Dreyfuss. Now, very, very few Hollywood actors are actually going to get off of the leftist plantation and come out there and blast Hollywood. Now, Richard Dreyfuss has always been base. He has. But a lot of these other actors out there, they're not about that. It seems like every single year when the Oscars is coming around, the hashtag Oscars so white starts to trend out there. And now they have all of these new woke standards out there. And the general audience is rejecting it because nobody cares about woke diversity. Nobody cares about that. Just make good movies. Look here on the Daily Wire. Actor Richard Dreyfuss slams woke Hollywood inclusion standards. They make me vomit. He actually said that, guys, and we got the clip. It says here, actor Richard Dreyfuss blasted woke inclusion standards in Hollywood during an interview this week, saying that it was patronizing because it treats people like they're children. Dreyfuss, who is known for What About Bob, American Graffiti, Jaws, Close Encounters of the Third Kind, and more, Mr. Holland's Opus, don't forget about that movie too, made the remarks on PBS's Firing Line with Margaret Hoover after discussing at length a variety of issues related to the decline of civics education in the U.S. The subject of Hollywood inclusion standards came up when Hoover mentioned that starting next year, films will be required to meet new inclusion standards to be eligible for the Academy Award for Best Picture. I thought that they'd already started that stuff already. I thought that they did. Maybe I'm wrong about that, but I'm not in know on all this stuff, but I thought they had already implemented that stuff anyway. Anyway, let's go ahead and listen into what Richard Dreyfuss actually had to say about this. Let's roll it.
Starting in 2024, films will be required to meet new inclusion standards to be eligible for the Academy Awards for Best Picture. They'll have to have a certain percentage of actors or crew from underrepresented racial and ethnic.
Look at the look on his face right there. He's getting ready for it, man.
Ethnic groups. What do you think of these new inclusion standards for films?
They make me vomit.
Why?
Because this is an art form. It's also a form of commerce, and it makes money, but it's an art. And no one should be telling me as an artist that I have to give in to the latest, most current idea of what morality is. And what are we risking Are we really risking hurting people's feelings? You can't legislate that. And you have to let life be life. And I'm sorry, I don't think that there's a minority or a majority in the country that has to be catered to like that.
Whoa. I love it. I absolutely love what Richard Dreyfuss is saying about this. And I wish that more actors would actually come out there, but a lot of these actors are afraid of being canceled. So they're out there virtue sitting in on Twitter and social media all the time. Richard Dreyfuss nailed it right here. He says, it makes me vomit. Hollywood is completely bankrupt when it comes to making good products. Very few and far between. Avatar, Way of Water, very good. James Cameron, tremendous director. But you're getting a bunch of woke garbage out there that nobody wants. Peter Pan and Wendy getting destroyed by everybody. The Star Wars stuff that they put out, getting destroyed by everybody. Hollywood has completely rejected story for agenda. They're pushing this ideology on people, and the average everyday person that actually goes out there, watches movies, they're going to spend that $15, $16, $17 because they're expecting a good product. They don't want to be preached to. These award shows are dying, and now you got to have all of these, you got to meet all these criteria when it actually comes to, let's just call it what it is, racism and discrimination, because that's what these award shows want now. You have to meet that criteria for Best Picture. So if a base director out there says, no, I'm not going to do this, I'm just going to go out there and get the best people for the job, I'm going to make a good movie. If that movie makes a bunch of money and people actually praise the movie, and if you see the movie doesn't actually get nominated for Best Picture, you're going to be like, wait a minute, what? This movie didn't make it for Best Picture? Now you know why. Because too many white people worked on this movie. That's the problem right there. Storytelling, dead. It is dead. Shout out to Richard Dreyfuss, man. He is 1,000% on this, and I'm backing him on this. That's just my thoughts on this. What do you guys think of this? Matrixx to Roadshow fans, let us know what you think about all this in the comments. Make sure to subscribe to the channel, and we'll catch you next time.